Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Good morning.
You guys all have really cool PFPs now. How's everybody doing? Did we tell everybody that we're starting?
Yes, made an
Discussion? No?
announcement.
Good. Most people. Okay, great. Well, I think we officially still have 1 minute. And the very dedicated crew here. Man, Chris Tuna, I haven't seen you for a while. Maybe you were here, but I didn't see your name show up as I usually do. And look at all the regular cast of characters here. Dark Magic, Dash, Ed777, Moise M, gosh, Mr. Potty Mouse, Citizen X. I'm just going to go through the people I always see. Cotton Cheese, Anna, Crypto Yam. Welcome everybody. Say hello. We've got a very special guest here today. Some people might recognize. When Cake Dash says, okay. Just for the audience to know, and I want to give a special thank you to all the people on stage here from the United States because today is a holiday for everybody. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming. Mal, you kill me whenever you put Palpatine up there. Thanks for joining us today on your day off. I appreciate you guys for doing that. How's everybody's Friday? Hi, everybody in the audience. How's your Friday going? Priya, hello. Working and listening. Mr. Potty Mouth, I see you have what looks like a naval sailor there. Were you in the service? Or do you just like that picture? Very nice. Well, thanks for your service. I'm guessing Navy? Yeah, my father was career Navy, so we were talking yesterday. Have the weird history of moving about 6 or 7 times before got out of second grade. So thank you to all of the Go Army beat Navy. Yeah, we used to say the same thing. Go Navy beat Army. G Dub. There's Resource there. Army vet. So thanks everybody who's on the call as a veteran or served or have serving or serving right now. Really appreciate that. We know it's not an easy gig. Not, and you're right, Mr. Putty Mouth. Not for families either. It's kind of rough. What do you say, Michelle? Should we get started?
We can do that.
You okay? You're making sure your mic works? And I was like, we can do that.
Yep, my mic definitely works today. I can hear everybody. Everybody can hear me. I've got my cup of coffee. I am ready today.
Okay, well, let's kick us off. Thank you, everybody, for coming to today's AMA on November 11th. Just looking back, we have been doing these weekly, since the end of July. And just kind of looking back right now, it's like, wow, who would ever thunk it? But we're doing it and try to bring you guys information, news, tell you what's going on, walk the talk, say what we're going to do and then do it. You've seen that for months now. And so to have the next episode in our AMA. So Michelle, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, let's get going. It's been awesome to do all these AMAs every week. I can't believe it's actually been that long. It went by so fast. Crazy.
It has.
I've had so much fun hosting them, except for last week, of course, where I missed the beginning. But all the other ones, I've had a blast. So let's go over what happened this week and last week in the Townstar Live game. Last week's update, we got the Spooky Miller got its art with this fancy new Halloween t-shirt. I know everybody loves the Spooky Miller. He's beautiful. This week for bug fixes on Monday, the Spooky Windmill should get its priority fixed, so that should be fixed, and the big warehouse priority should also be fixed, either on Monday or Tuesday, depending on QA time. I know today is a holiday for a lot of the team, so we may be pushing our release from Monday night Pacific Standard Time to Tuesday morning Pacific Standard Time, right before the competition. It kind of depends on how QA goes, but definitely be aware that it may not happen on Monday. I will keep you guys as updated as I can on Monday as we progress through the day. We've also got the gasoline turned on currently in our staging environment, and we've been testing it. There are some issues with it still, probably the same issues that we've been having, where if you've got gasoline set up to sell on auto trade and it's halfway down your list, sometimes stuff at the bottom half of the list won't sell properly if your truck is waiting on a gasoline sale. So I don't know if you in the community would like us to allow gasoline to be sold even though it may cause a bug, or if you'd rather we just turn it back off so that it doesn't interfere with your auto trade. Definitely let me know throughout the weekend what you would prefer. And we'll go from there on Monday, I guess. This week, the rewards for the Jack-o'-lantern competition went out. See some people saying they want it off. Yes, Anna, if you put the gasoline on the bottom of the list, in theory, it should be working. It's worked so far in testing, but that doesn't mean that it can't go wrong. So we definitely still, I'll do as much testing as I can with it this weekend and with the rest of the QA team, and we'll see how it goes. What else happened this week? Cotton storages went out to everybody who played the game or had a node running. So congratulations for everybody who got a cotton storage. And the Guided Blades Ghost card will not be out this week. It should be in the next following release. So like a full week, maybe 2 from now before those get out. So don't expect them before the competition this week. And I think that's all I have for Townstar Live updates. Unless Resource has anything else to add. I feel like I touched on most things.
A great job encompassing kind of what's going on with Townstar Live this last week. I think the only other thing I would add is that we are doing our absolute best to try to get some of these bugs fixed and out the door to you guys. So we appreciate your patience, even though we will, our release schedule is a little bit flexible this upcoming week. So thank you.
All right, do we want to move on to Townstar Forever updates? Volcron, you got anything you want to let us know?
I sure do. I have a spoiler on, but I'm not going to share it unless SageMaker says it's okay. It's an experimental spoiler. No promise. I'll just skip it. Yeah. So
Slack it to me. Slack it to me, and then we
Okay.
can see.
Oh,
So
okay.
no surprises.
It's the screenshots that our friend sent us yesterday. The 3 screen. I'll Slack it to you. Okay.
Oh, I know
so
what you mean. Yeah. You could share those. They're experiments. That's cool.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, so as far as parity goes, we've got our cash burn feature in, obviously important for earning. We've added the super tiles. Those look super cool. The mountains and cactuses and stuff around your town. Quick buy, that has been re-implemented in the Godot port. And some workers, I think I mentioned last week, the worker speed is working now with the different run speeds. Like if you're on a road, you'll run faster than, going through your wheat crop. Quick buy, I think I just mentioned, is in. And we added a cool, kind of a different way to show the placement. So, when you're buying something, whether or not it's eligible to place where you're currently hovering your mouse. Hold on, one odd gent. I got audio. Why does Oh. So when you're hovering your mouse, so we added the effects and the logic that tell you whether or not you can place it there. And you think like, well, that's not such a big deal. Why is he talking about that? Well, because now we have the subgrid placement, so it's even more important to get that right. You can have interesting little arrangements of roads and stuff that you couldn't have in the current live game. So that's in, and terrain can be rotated so that anybody who's got OCD about their, cotton or whatever being in straight lines, you can do that. Um, Crafting that can be activated. That's cool. I think I shared some screenshots about that last week, but it's been improved. And we're testing out right now. We're testing out mobile, and one of the first things you want to do, like when you're going to play something, when you go mobile, is you want to be able to cancel that. Right. So added a cancel button. If you went to the store and you're like, oh, I want to buy this thing and place it in my grid, you need to be able to cancel it. And then for the people might be interested in this. We added some back-end tools this week so we can ban bad actors and help people out when they want their town nuked and things are just going wrong. We don't anticipate things going wrong, but we want to make sure that we have those tools from the beginning. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm going to get together 3 little experimental. So this isn't a promise. We're experimenting with some different visuals. And like SageMaker says in chat there, experimenting.
Just experiments, not promises, but something that's interesting to see.
And they're low res screenshots, so this is not 1080p ultra. So yeah, I'm gonna share those. I'll just go quiet now while I get those screenshots ready to paste. And that's Townstar Forever. Thanks, Michelle. I'm all done.
The suspense is killing me.
Oh, it's gonna be a minute.
It's gonna be a minute. I got screenshots. It's gonna take me a minute. Why don't you guys talk about something else?
Who's this mysterious wheat guy?
Oh, I know.
My name has been going through metamorphoses. Mysterious Wheat felt the most Townstar mysterious.
Mysterious Wheat, when you're doing your day job, do you feel like you're in a silo?
I tried not to be siloed. Yes.
Oh, goodness.
That's so bad. It's a holiday.
Wow.
I'll cut you a break on that one.
So Volcron, is the ET on these pictures going to be like 30 seconds, or should we move on?
Sorry, about 2 minutes. I need to verify there's no sneaky URLs or anything in each of them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, for a minute, rather than jump on to the next topic and have that disrupted, why don't we see if there's any quick questions from the audience, or maybe Michelle would touch on. We just get to the Q&A. What do you think?
We can either jump onto the Q&A, we can take live questions, or we can do intros. I know we've got a new team member up on stage today.
Yeah, I wanted to save that one until we get through while we wait for Volcron to post his pictures, because I imagine there's going to be. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go.
Ooh.
So these, I'm thinking some of these pictures the team hasn't even seen, right?
Yeah, I have not seen this nighttime scene.
Yeah. So, obviously, I'll kind of talk through this a little bit. So one of the things we're doing, obviously, is looking at the visuals in the game. And Godot has a bunch of cool stuff in it in terms of rendering, being able to put different shaders on things. But it also just fundamentally has some great stuff with lighting. Lighting can do a lot to a scene. As you kind of see there's the night. Everybody thinks day and night is the first starting point. So there's a night version up there. And then there's also the ability to put, emissive, I don't know what to call it, materials or shaders on things so that you can have like little lights showing up in the middle of the darkness. Obviously, having a big, world light. So you see in the second picture there and dimming that down, you'll see shadows, but that gives you the sense of dusk. I know if we change that light color to be a little orangish or golden, you get what artists call the golden hour type of lighting, which makes it very feel magical. And then down at that third picture there, it's just, you can imagine that being afternoon lighting, if you will, right? And so we're looking at that, some cool stuff that we can do in there. And all of this comes, of course, because, Godot, getting to Godot. We keep talking about, oh man, we're so excited to work on that new engine and bring the code base over. And here's some of the first first things that we look at and say, this is, there's a lot of specialness still to come. Well, Kron, did you have any other things to share on that tech-wise
Yeah.
or other notes?
Mr. Pottymouth had that question about will there be a render off button? Yeah, so first thing we looked at this week, I try not to get like too techie on here, but if you guys are familiar with anti-aliasing in video games, it makes it prettier, but at a cost. And if you look into the Godot engine a little bit, we're experimenting with making that a runtime toggle. Right now, we're not going to do that. It's a little bit deep in the bowels of the code, but yeah, definitely, Mr. Pottymouth, we are looking at supporting people who have, doing our best to support people who have limited internet connection, limited electricity, low power PCs, stuff like that. We're trying to be inclusive. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, limited electricity might be funny to some people, but there is one team member who is living in a country where they have regular scheduled outages. And I know having worked in India, outages, brownouts, or what do you want to call it, just power being shut off is kind of a regular occurrence there. What's electricity? There you go, Atomic. I think we're ready now to go on to the intro. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Okay. Resource, were you going to start this?
I guess I suppose I can. I think there,
Oh.
for everyone here, the famous SK, reveal yourself.
Wait, why is SK famous?
Mel, please jump in.
Yeah, so
Why,
I don't know if anyone
tell us
ever.
about the famous SK.
There was not even that long ago that an SK appeared. I noticed the fucking Discord was, of course, who it was. Where everyone was having full-blown debate, actually calculating the points, whether SK could have actually cheated or got there legitimately. And it was funny because we obviously never answered anything around SK. And people just had no idea what was going on and why there was someone so high. Could it be legit? We were speaking internally. It was all very funny. And now we have the famous SK with us now.
Well, hi everyone. Yeah.
She's also she's fantastic. The famous SK is also my resident Pearl officer and our QA director here on Townstar. And yeah, thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's very exciting to be here for the first time, and good to see everybody here. Yeah.
So SK, I have I have several questions for you. The first of which is, are you a bot?
No, I'm a real person, but I have my ways. Sometimes I can turn into a bot if situations calls for it.
I see. Okay. Have you always been a cheater or just on Townstar?
Well, actually, yes. All my life, I picked up this hobby at a very young age. Nobody can tell how I did it when playing peekaboo or during hide and go seek. So.
I see. Are you familiar with Cool Whip?
Cool Whip, yeah, I like it.
So when you're being cool and you're whipping me around and into shape, does it hurt or does it come natural to you?
Well, the whipping took some practice for sure, but being cool always, came naturally to me.
I see. Well, no, but in all seriousness, what is the QA process like, and how do you develop these kinds of skills to do what you do?
Okay, that's going to be a little bit of a long answer. So the first step in our QA is validating the specification and requirement to make sure they're, sound from the beginning before the actual implementation, and make sure they fit the application we're working on. And in our situation here, it's Downstar. So the first thing, the QA engineers take that documentation, form test cases for each requirement, and then we go through a review process, and then I provide feedback to the test engineers, and then add more test cases, and until we finalize a test plan. And once developers get the code complete and they're, have it in a state where it can be tested, we move it to the QA environment, and then we go through all those test cases one by one. And if anything fails, we log a bug for it and send it back to the developer to fix it. And once the developer fixes it, he sends it back to us, and we re-execute those test cases that failed. And if they pass, we move them to closed. If not, we keep reiterating the same process until all the bugs are closed and all the test cases pass. And to develop those skills, you need to be very detailed oriented, organized, able to follow a series of complex instructions to achieve a goal. And so there's so much really that goes into QA other than testing, although it's the biggest focus for sure.
You mentioned test cases several times. About how many would you say that you go through for each release on average?
So on average, we have between 450 to 550 test cases, depending on the number of features being released in that sprint and how complex those features are.
And that's for each release?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot. What kind of things do you look for, and what's considered acceptable criteria for a release?
So we're very lucky to have a very capable person that provides all the requirements for us on each feature, and that's Mel. So he does a great job specifying all the details like utility, wage, effects, craft it makes, where it's stored, and all those details that you guys are aware of. So we look at, we took each of those requirements, form acceptance criteria in form of a test case. And then when the code meets, the code has to match exactly those requirements that were specified. Otherwise, we have, they have to log bugs for it and they have to get fixed. And the release deemed acceptable when no critical severity bugs, like high bugs that, would jeopardize the game are outstanding. And preferably we would love to release, with no bugs at all existing in the game. And that's what we strive for.
That's the part where you yell at me, right?
So because our releases are on a weekly cycle, it gets very tough at the end, timing wise, when we really need the the new codes and bug fixes to quickly come to us for retesting before Mel and Michelle yell at me. So it comes from the top down. So we really love to keep the cadence of releasing on time, on the promised day and time. So that's how it gets a little bit yelly at the end.
Now, so I want to know, with all the yelling going on, do you sing at all?
Oh yeah, I love to sing.
Do you sing first right now?
Well,
Anything at all?
I prefer to sing in the bathroom, and I'm not there right now, so sorry.
I approve. I approve of that. So last question though, and this is really what's been on my mind. I'm sure it's on everyone's mind. So turtle or tortoise?
I'll go with turtle.
All right. I approve. Thank you, SK.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Let's check some questions from the audience. Anybody have any questions about QA that SK can answer for us? I saw one from Volker saying, how many people are on the QA team?
So we currently have 3 other engineers between Townstar Live and Townstar Forever.
3 people, but 4 if we include you, right?
Right.
Yeah. Other questions for SK before we? Yeah. Okay, Todd. Other questions
Jetty.
about QA.
I love Jetty. He says, I hear smart words, and now I'm sure it's a bot.
Ooh, here's a good question from Ed777. How much of the QA is automated?
So on Townstar Live, currently there is not much automations besides that sheets that we have that makes me if you go check all your servers now, you will see me number one, ranking number one there on the leaderboard. But those are actually methods for us to speed testing, so we're able to achieve, we're able to build a town quickly, so we're able to test what the focus, of that feature that we're testing, with, speedy and just we're trying to, to test the achievable goal there. On Townstar Forever, we do have some back-end API testing that's currently in place.
Well, that's one of the things. Automated testing is one of the things that I'm super excited that SK is bringing to the team. It's something I've wanted to do for literally decades on every single game that I've worked on. But there often is this sort of chicken and the egg issue where if you have a dev that can write the automation code for QA, they often get pulled into doing features for the game. And so we're really holding the line on that to try to get everything as automated as possible. It's not an easy task, but we're certainly starting off on that track right now with Townstar Forever as we move to Godot. SK, there's a question from Moise. Are you hiring for a QA automation engineer? We have one already. I'm not sure we're hiring for a new one yet.
But send your resume. Maybe we can have you whenever we're hiring. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, send it to SK. SK won't reach out to you, according to the rules. Other questions for SK before we move on to the new next agenda items? Yeah. We see some comments. Appreciate your hard work. 500 test cases each week. Wow. Dubir, what's QA? Quality assurance testing. Let's see. Any other questions? White box testing or black box testing? What do you say, SK?
Oh, this question comes from somebody who knows about QA and testing. Yes, we do black box testing, white box testing, regression integration, negative testing, positive testing, and that's just to name a few. Great question.
I think that's a really good question from Todd, actually. SK, what is your favorite pizza topping?
So my favorite pizza topping has to be chicken, but it has to come with Alfredo sauce. Otherwise, I would say beef would be the one.
What about anything Detroit style? This is important.
Oh,
this is
yeah.
really important business.
I'll have
The
to
best
defer
style
to
of pizza.
exactly. I'll have to defer to our wheat here for the answer. Mysterious wheat.
Atomic likes a calzone. This has gone off the rails. What is your favorite pizza, Mysterious Wheat?
Detroit style pizza. Pepperoni. Good red sauce. I'm hungry.
All right, let's reel it back in here.
I know. I was just going to say, save us, Michelle, save us.
Let's reel it back in. All right, let's move on to Q&A if no one has any other questions about QA in particular. I haven't seen any other questions unrelated to pizza. So let's move on. The first question I have... Sorry, was someone going to say something?
I saw something. SK, is it true that you have the updates ready for release on Thursday, and then Mal lies to us all day Friday that it's not ready yet?
No, that's not true.
Is this the part where I just duck out altogether?
I just want to say, yeah, definitely not me.
Yeah, well, we do have like code freeze dates that we try to attempt, right? That usually happens on Thursday, true?
That's true, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of work that goes on between the release and getting ready for the next week. And so one way to think about it is it's a little bit like a live weekly TV show or live weekly event that the team creates new content for, gets it ready, gets it tested, releases out to you, and then repeats the cycle the next week. So for people who are not familiar with live game development, it is very much like a live service, live entertainment service. Let's jump to the Q&A, Michelle.
All right, the first question I have here is, do we have any more updates on the potential usage of APIs?
Yeah, that one a question. I'm not quite sure when you guys are talking about APIs, you're talking about to share info from the game out to other people or somehow connect with other APIs. I'm going to assume it's the former. Yes, we like that. I like that. I like how it opens up the environment for community participation, especially from work. Yeah, you're right. I think it's probably from Ross to Kip, maybe, or somebody like that. But yeah, we want to do that. We're just not, we don't have the information to share right now. That is a goal. That is a goal.
All right, the next question I have is long, so I'm going to read the whole thing. It says, love the AMAs. They really help me feel close to the team, even though I'm the quiet type. I'd like to know more about the transfer of NFTs from ETH to Geary when we have Townstar Live. Will it be like Spider Tanks? Can you share more? And do we have to pay gas fees to do the transfer? Will it be very costly?
So yes, I'll take that one. Yes, we're going to try to do, and I actually just sent a note this morning to the chain and bridging team about what we want to have for Townstar. And it is, the starting place is just get us to the same place Spider Tanks is. You'll have your NFTs from ETH, be able to bridge them into Geary, and the gas fees will be, they'll be what they are. That's one of the reasons why we have Geary, is to get out of the the environment of ETH gas fees, whether they're high or low, it kind of depends on the time of day. You guys all know that. But yeah, so you will also still be able to use your ETH NFTs inside of Townstar and Godot when we get it there. But if you want the special functions and features that we're going to add, you will need to bridge them over to Geary to get that, get all the specialness that are there. So there you go. Was there a question on that? Let's see. What about a bridge all? Interesting. Well, yeah, I know because I watched the Spider Tank launch there at 777, and I see that's an issue. We'll see if we can do that. Can't promise that, because at the same time that we're getting the features put in place for Townstar, there are other games going on at Gala that are also in the queue, in the pipeline for release. And so we're trying to get our work done as the Geary and bridging team and everybody else gets, adds more features. We'll certainly take advantage of them.
I see a question about, will ETH NFTs still earn if they stay on the ETH network? I'm not sure if we know the answer to that one yet.
Yeah, we don't know the answer to that yet. We have ideas and we'll share them once we lock it down. And speaking of lock it down, everybody always asks about the white paper. Oh my God, it's so close. Oh my God, we're so close on that to be able to release that. I wanted to share a day today, but we decided we're not going to share it yet because there's still one or two more things we have to run through in terms of internal Gala processes. I do see a note from Crazy Town that says, when you say special features for Geary NFTs, any example? Yeah, we've talked about this before, the ability to upgrade your buildings. There's a really simple one there. Let's see. Will Gala be doing Geary Wallet with personal seed phrase? There's already a Gala wallet, right? You guys know that, right? When you enter your special secret phrase, that's there. What about treasure chest items? Yes, Shan Ratty. That's part of the spec. Be able to use your treasure chest items. If it's an ETH-based item, be able to get that over and use that, translate that into Geary. Now, I'm not sure quite the pathway on that because it may have to go out to ETH first and then get bridged over, but we're trying to figure that out. B#28, is Townstar working on a NFT rental system? We talk about that for all of our, to the key point, we talk about that for all of our games at Gala. If you guys see what happens inside of Spider Tanks with pilots, there's lots of different ways to do that. I can say yes, we're thinking about it. We don't have anything specific to share. Vulture, could we see a Geary marketplace? I know that there's another part of the company that's been looking into that. I don't have the latest and greatest on that. Sorry for my ignorance. What is Jiri? That's the Gala chain. We've just launched that October 31st with Spider Tanks. That's the current name for it. Let's anything else? Why does the credit card option get removed from the store? Rod, that's who somebody can somebody answer that?
Yeah, I can answer that one. So we had the credit card purchases were causing the supply to just go down faster than it should. So that's why we put the item back on sale the other day. But this is it's a small bug. It's been fixed, but with everything, just needs to go through QA and get released. So we'll be turning credit card purchases back on. It was really cool though, because when it was turned off, we were like, it seems like everybody loves credit card purchases. And so to see the negative reaction is like, oh, people really love this. So we'll definitely be getting that turned on really soon. And so it was a minor thing, but just making sure it's all fixed before we turn it back on.
Hey, let's jump to the next question, Michelle.
Next question I have on this list is, will you change event rewards from Gala Coin to Town Coin instead? We playing Townstar game and I don't know what that says. I think they're just wondering if we're going to switch rewards from Gala to Town at some point in the future.
Sorry, can you repeat that one?
Oh yeah, it seems like the question, it's worded funny, so if I read it, it's just not going to sound right. But I think the question is just asking if we're going to switch competition rewards from Gala to Town in the future.
I see. Okay, cool. Yeah, so for future competitions, the plan right now is to start with rewarding Town and Gala and NFTs. So that's kind of where we're thinking to start. We're going to be open to a lot more reward types as well. So things like consumables, database items, all sorts of stuff. So we're really thinking of not just what we're going to start with, which is Town and NFTs, but how we expand that as well. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming with competitions. But yeah, for the foreseeable future or start, we'll be doing Town and NFTs.
Awesome.
And I think that just to echo also what SageMaker was saying earlier, we're so close on the white paper, and there will be a lot more of that type of information shared with that as well. So that's pretty exciting, and it's coming very soon.
Yeah, I wanted to announce a date on that today, but Mysterious Week held me back.
I said no, just because we want to make sure that when we say we're going to do something, we do it. And just because there's reviews that we want to go through, make sure that we get it right the first time. That we've reviewed it with everyone between legal economists, our more blockchain teams, our leadership. So that's just making sure that we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed. Sorry, SageMaker, but yes, it's that close that we're at the point where we're deciding whether or not to give a date. So it's very soon.
Yeah, I was almost going to do a Volcron on
that. Oh gosh. Leaky buckets.
What's the next question?
Surrounded by leaky buckets.
The next question, which is the last question I have on the list, is can you explain the strategy of NFT rarities and supply? Looking at the sales this year, it is difficult to find a relation between rarity, supply, and price.
Yes, so when a utility is sort of created, or it already exists and it's going into an NFT version, you have to sort of look at it in terms of what's a common, what's an uncommon, what's a rare. So split that utility into pieces, if that makes sense, and sort of build it up in the sense of there are different levels of the rarity. The supply side comes into rarity, as this you also notice like legendaries are obviously lower. Because there's different types of utility. You've got storage, passive, building, craft, skins that boost. These are all very different frames of areas, I would say, when you're talking about like how many would the supply base, what the strength of a common to a legendary is. It's just a very wide area with all the main factors that go into, breaking down and then looking at the sets of rules to go around rarity, supply amounts. So it's just sort of natural logic, like much less legendaries, or epic, and so on. I hope that answers the question.
Anybody have any questions on Mel's answer right there in more detail? Okay. I call what Mal does sort of alchemy. He comes, he looks at the stuff, figures it out, and says, "Here's the answer." It's just awesome, and it works. Is it time?
You can always tag me in a bit more questions if anyone. Obviously, I get a lot of DMs around this stuff, especially around like how do you decide tiers and what makes this. So people have made things always open for people to just come and ask me questions. I mean, a lot of you do. I can just speak to you.
It makes Mel really happy when I come in and say, "What? Why don't you just change it to this?" He's like, "No." Do you know how much thought has gone into this? So it's pretty cool how much thought goes into how everything is, listed, tiered, all that stuff. So sorry, Mal.
It's okay. Love you loads.
Let's move on to the next agenda.
We've got leaks next. I could also talk about the meta survey for next week if anyone's curious. We are going to be doing another survey to decide the meta for next week. The options on it are going to be like milk, water drums, wooden boxes, ceramic bowls, wool yarn, or wine bottles. So start thinking, because I'm going to post that survey in a minute, probably at the end of this AMA, and everybody can start voting. We'll let it run probably till the end of the week, and then we'll see what the next meta is going to be.
And, just to be clear, this is the silliest. If for those who've been around, the longer you've been around, you'll see these weird requests that come through. So many people have asked me for a milk meta, a water drum meta, and all these funny things that wouldn't normally be a meta. But we thought we'd put them into a list and let you decide how silly you actually want it.
You don't want to do a milk meta?
I love that. The milk. Chocolate milk meta I would be into.
All right, let's move on to leaks then. I think for the meta for next week, the stuff that's been shared so far is that, let's see, nuclear power plants craft timer is going to be down to 5 seconds. The cost to build a nuclear power plant is going to be 1 million cash, and jet fuel are each going to give 25,000 cash. So if you sell a truck of 10, that's 250,000, if I did my math right, which I think I did. And I believe there's probably more leaks if Mal is willing to share them.
Yeah, so the other change was energy is 5,000 per one. So that's the meta. It's you want to be selling those energies, those batteries. I love the way that we call it energy and battery. And anyway, so it's energy meta, so that's what you'll be selling. It's like this because we did a vote. It was a tie. The community voted for both energy and jet fuel. So you got cash 1 point. So you'll be selling energy points and jet fuel for cash. In terms of things, farmer should be back to normal. In points and cash wise from the old stuff should be back to normal. The only things haven't been added yet, which I'm sure nobody's bothered about, is back onto some crops. That will come. It just didn't happen for this one. So your nuke wage cost stays the same. No changes on there. Just the how much it costs in terms of in-game dollars. What gets nerfed? Grumpy says everything just goes back to normal. And the energy gets pumped up with the jet fuel. No changes, Moise, on the ingredients. just the cash has gone down, so it's easy to rush cash one while you're trying to get everything else sorted. Grumpy 5,000 per energy, and you can make a lot of energy per hour. So if you want to do boxes, then best luck. But if you're asking if there's still a million or a couple of million per stack box, no, it's gone to its actual points. One energy will give 5,000 Twitter.
I think SK just got back at me for my questions. She just
I think a really big leak was just posted in the chat. I don't know if anybody
really huge
saw
leak.
how big that leak was.
I didn't see that.
It's a
Big
really
leak in the
big
chat.
leak.
There is a massive leak in the chat.
I don't think I've ever seen a leak this big at Gala.
So many
I don't-
jokes.
Shibhab, no, there's no way to sell 100 energy without the water. You need the big boat in order to sell 100 at a time. So you either have to be on a river or a lake or the ocean. But remember that there has to be a city to sell to attached to that water body. I know a lot of times people grab spots that are just on like a small lake and there's no city there, and the game will let you build a freight pier, but you won't be able to sell with that freight pier unless there's a city also attached to that body of water. So just be careful when you're picking spots. I think the only other thing left on our agenda today is the sale announcement for what's going on sale on Monday.
I think that's my cue. I just slipped right in. Always.
Top boy Q.
That's what I do. Top boy Q. That rhymes. Nice. So next week we'll be selling the fabric plant, and it's not just any fabric plant. It's the legendary fabric plant. So the utility on that, the craft is going to be the same as the in-game fabric plant with 50% less wages, and the unit speed is going to be 3 quicker, which is, I believe, 50%. Mal, you can confirm confirm that for me.
50%. Yeah, 50% less wages, 50% quicker unit walk speed.
That's it. And the price point is going to be $290, and the supply is super, super, super limited at 270 in store. We're working on making sure credit cards are enabled for this. Working with some of the devs who have worked on this to make sure there's no issues. And if we feel good about there not being any issues for Monday morning, then we will go ahead with it. But town, as always, you can purchase it in town. And most likely you'll be able to purchase it with credit cards. I just need a little bit of time to confirm. But for now, we can assume it'll be credit card and town to purchase the fabric plant, the legendary fabric plant. And that is all.
And some Christmas metas and metas after that. I feel like something fabric plant might be useful there as well. Just saying.
Is that another leak?
Might be another leak. I've been having a lot of fun on these the Christmas buildings and all the new crafts and the ingredients in there. I really do like to make sure it's a wide strategy play, and there's lots of fun in there. So I'm hoping some of the ingredients used, because they're not always used. We have things in there that don't always get used or not used very often. So it's always fun to bring them back to life.
Speaking of usage, haven't forgotten about the individual tree farms, the legendary tree farms. Working on the pricing for that, so expect that to be up in the store in a little bit as well. Have not forgotten about it. Back to you, Michelle.
That's all we have for questions and stuff. Nice, there it is. Oh, it's beautiful. Does anybody have any other questions out there?
I've got a question that I want to get people's opinions on, just sort of off the cuff as I was watching people post some notes in there about Christmas stuff. When you guys think about Christmas and Town Star, what comes to mind for you guys? I don't want to put any thoughts in your head. I just would love for people to kind of share free form. Snowball, reindeer, Christmas tree, Santa flying by, Christmas pizza. There you go. Drunken chaos. Whoa, look at that. Ornaments. Grinch. Man, this is going so fast. Awesome, guys. Eggnog.
I like that. Free NFTs.
Presents. Presents. I haven't seen anybody say presents. Candy cane meta. Big truck coming. Okay. Christmas tree again. Candy canes. Turkey presents. Okay. Awesome.
I love gift boxes. So I got a couple.
Boy says lots of sleep. I approve.
Ham.
Yeah. Christmas Vacation, the movie. Dragon pulled Santa sleigh. Oh, wow. That's super creative. Factory has 3 more spots. Stockings, pine tree, evergreens, fireplace. Love this, guys. Thank you for sharing that. What about aliens?
No plow. Wait, how did that just get made so fast?
I know. Look at that.
What? That's so good.
NFT Santa delivery. Okay. Elves forming a union. Okay, Volcron. Oh, okay. Box in the box in the box. Great. Thank you guys for sharing all that. Michelle, Mal, maybe you can grab some of those ideas off there as we get out of this call.
Ooh, make the lumberjack Santa. It's a cool one too.
Yeah. Any last questions, folks? Thank you everybody for sharing all that your ideas there. Super appreciate it. Any last questions before we call it a day? Oh, look at that. Will Bake is just popping those things out. Look at that.
To talk about where our AMA is going to be next week.
Yes. I almost completely forgot. We are going to be moving to the Twitter Spaces next week, guys. So if you don't have a Twitter account, make a Twitter account. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. The Townstar Twitter page is in the pins. If you're not already following us, definitely do that. We're just trying it out to see how it goes.
Ed's dream has a screaming face plus a Homer. Screaming Homer. Whoa. Please don't move to boo. No. What's wrong? What's wrong on Twitter Spaces, guys? Is it just because it's not this happy place of discord? Oh, Musk. Interesting. We live here, not Twitter's. Okay.
Well, we'll give it a try next week. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. We want to try it out. So one of the things we're all doing as a team is to continue to evolve and try new things. We mentioned last week in the AMA about how we'll put a feature in, we'll check and see how the stats behind it, see how people are using it, if it's fun, if it's not fun, take the community feedback on it, and then evolve that. So same kind of notes here. We're trying to evolve our communication strategy a bit, and just kind of, I don't know, keep up, make changes, keep things fresh. So we'll give that a shot, and we'll see how it goes. And somebody said to hold them simultaneously. That'd be interesting. I'm not sure on the tech. I'm not really up to speed on all broadcasting tech, but we'll kind of figure something out. We'll be doing that. Any other questions before we let our team go back to their holiday, or at least the people that are in the US? When earnings? Soon, NFT Chuck. Actually, when that's what the white paper is about. That's what the white paper is about. So we'll announce that, get to read it over, and share that. You're welcome, Vulture. You're welcome. Thanks, everybody. I guess we're going to go ahead and call it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today in our AMA, and thanks to everybody up on the stage, especially those who live in the country has this as vacation day. The rest of you, thanks for joining us as well. So have a good weekend, everybody. And I've got to go off to another meeting, so I'll let somebody else talk you guys out. Thank you very much. Really appreciate everybody seeing everybody today and all the questions.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Peace out, everyone. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
all.
Bye.
Anybody got any last minute questions before I leave? It's just me now. I don't have any more leaks. Sorry. I do not sing. You definitely do not want to hear me sing. I try to sing in my car, but because I mostly listen to like metal, I try to learn how to like scream like they do in the metal songs, and I am just absolutely terrible at it. A lot of times I end up losing my voice while I'm in the car. I'm not sure where the live chat will be once we move to Twitter. We still got to work out all of the fine details. I've not hosted a Twitter space before, so it'll be my first Twitter space to host. So I'm not 100% sure how that works. But as soon as we figure out all the details, I'll let you guys know. Anybody else got any questions? I'm not 100% sure about your question, Rocket Union. The gems is really just a word that we've used for like buying packs of in-game currency. It's not its own crypto. It's just an in-game database item. And people still will be earning town once the economy starts back up. That white paper should be out soon. It is extremely close. I'm not even 100% sure that like gems as we remember them are 100% on the table. There will probably be things similar to gems. I don't have the white paper, so I'm not all the way up to date on it. But I mean, you will be able to spend your town in game. I'm sure there'll be something similar to gems. There will definitely be ways to spend town. That is a key part of the economy. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Dubier. I literally just said that it was a very important part of the game and we're going to be doing it. So I don't know how that's ignoring it. I just said the exact opposite of that. All right, if no one else has got any questions, I'm going to bounce. I don't know if Townstar Forever is officially the name of the new game. That's definitely what we're calling it for now, but I don't know if that's the official name. Townstar for life, for sure. Rocket Unit, you can call it Townstar Forever for now. If we'll figure it out as we go.